Hey there, everybody. Professor Cloud here with another episode of Jurassic World Evolution 3. It's been a little while since I've done an episode of JWE 3. I just really, unfortunately, have not had time because of work. But I did want to make sure to get back to it because I did promise a new sandbox run where I actually set up the sandbox in the right way. What I mean by that is it a little bit more of a realistic sandbox where there are some limitations and you can't just infinitely do whatever you want. So what I've done is I've created a new sandbox on the island of Kauai. We will start with a what they consider to be a medium amount of money. All of the standard campaign restrictions are on, so there is possibility of death, there's possibility of unrest, there's all of the standard things that we saw in the campaign. I did though turn down the sabotage piece because I really didn't like that edition of this particular game, but we're going to be able to go directly into Kauai, completely fresh, and build out whatever we want there. So let's go ahead and jump back into Kauai and see how a sandbox version of that would look. Okay, so they gave me 3 different settings of money, and somehow medium is 9 million. It's still better than unlimited. I did also set everything to daytime, so we will not have a day-night cycle. That way you all will actually be able to see what it is that I'm doing. All right, let's pick a entrance location for the guests. Where is the park entrance going to be? This is a little weird with this particular island. There's no clear... Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it right here. Okay. Arrival point. Let's go with this one. That's the Jurassic Park arrival. Texarkana, Europe, Asia, Europa Alpine? Huh. Okay. Yeah, let's go right here. Sort of similar to the way that Jurassic Park was set up at the very beginning of the movie, where it was kind of nestled into this one place and the only way in was via helicopter. So, we will put that there. Next is... we need a expedition center and an operations center. Let's put these over here. Okay, so maintenance, response, paleomedical. All right, there's the control center. Let's start with that. Expedition. And science. We need those. Those are our men's. Okay, now. Pathing. Okay, hold on. I just did that badly. Okay, so that one's now connected. Okay, that one's now connected. We need to connect it back here, but... Okay, that's all connected. Now, do I have... Yeah, I don't have... Let's see, let's hire some scientists. Oh, okay. I've got to do backup power first. The good thing is this actually covers all of those, so that's good. Alright, let's hire scientists. We need to start with somebody with good logistics for the expeditions. So we'll go here with Emma. And Victoria. And then we will grab Christopher here for genetics. And I think Sebastian. Yeah, we'll grab Sebastian for welfare. Alright, that's a good starting point. Let's expedition. Edmontosaurus, Dilophosaurus, Compsognathus. Alright, let's do... Let's do Compsognathus first. So we'll start off with a carnivore. And if I can, I'll put it right here. I'll just give it a long location. Alright, let's speed things up. Let's do some research. Specifically for power and staff center. Those are the two big ones that I want. I don't have enough logistics skill because she just left. Okay. Alright, then let's do the staff center real quick. And let me hire another scientist that's got... I was thinking about a Sami here. Actually, no, Maple. Interesting name. Because she's balanced across the board. Okay. We're going to need a response facility. And then I'm going to build our first... Actually, do I want my first enclosure to be this close to the arrival point? Well, I suppose I can put... guest buildings over here. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, let's take a look at our fossils. Sell you. 5, 4. Okay, I think we're going to need to do another one, though. We did just get the... Okay, let's... research power. I want to get the small power supply or small power station up and available as soon as possible. Wow, that was fast. Holy cow. Alright, let's go ahead then and put... small power station right here. Okay. Do another... Oh, that one's completely... Oh, boy. Alright, we're going to have to do this one then. Because I can guarantee you we're not getting enough. Yeah, we're only going to get 55% of the Compsognathus. And they're small, so we should be able to put those in a fairly small enclosure. Alright, let's go ahead and start Okay, they're saying it's viable. I don't know about that. Let's go ahead and do these two, which will get us what? Another 18? Alright, let's go ahead and build an enclosure here.
Any good manager has to know how to delegate, and I'm one good manager. Observe, I'm handing this task to you.
Fire a scientist is a literal contract. Research large carnivore. Okay, we can do that pretty easily. I don't have any research going right now. All right, so here's our gate. Okay. Viewing gallery. I'm going to go with Jurassic World viewing gallery. Alright, we're going to have to change the road. Okay. Alright, there's that. Okay, that's done. We need a incubation, right? Yeah, we need incubation. Hatchery. Eesh. Man, this thing's freaking huge. I don't understand what you mean by it's obstructed by small electrified fence. Of course it is. Alright, we're gonna have to bust up a road again. Okay. There's that. I still need to put in a paleomedical. Oh boy, some sales. A bunch of sales. Holy cow, a whole bunch of sales. Alright. Alright, let's see where we are with the eggs. 73%. Alright, I'll wait for this one fossil to be done. Yeah, that should be a pretty good enclosure for the Compsognathus. And as soon as they're ready... Alright, you need to be refilled. Yes, I know we're not in profit. Oh, we need to research large carnivore. We don't have enough logistics. Why do we not have enough logistics? What am I... 1, 3, 6, 8, 3, 6, 8, 9. I've got 9. What did it say? I needed 11? No, 12. Okay. All right, well, then that would be why. All right, then let me put in the staff center. Jurassic Park Staff Center. I wonder if I can put it right here. Yeah, let's put it right here. Okay. That should get me one more scientist. Oh, no. Sorry, 3 more scientists. Holy crap. All right, let's make sure to grab one more with good logistics. We'll go with Harold. I'm going to go with Larry, another balanced. And... let's go with a Kiki. Okay. That should be all that we need from a scientist perspective. Excuse me. Alright, that is now done. We'll go ahead and get these done. We need 3. There we go. Alright, now we can start the synthesis. Okay. Let's see what we've got. I didn't even think... oh, man. I didn't even look at the genome. I haven't modified the genome at all. Social, nocturnal, social. Social and nocturnal. Alright, let's change that one to male. And let's incubate them all. And that should be a good start. And we are now at a complete genome. Excellent. Alright, I want to go out and do another expedition for an herbivore. Basically what I'm going to try and do is get one carnivore, one herbivore, and then one flyer. And have that as a starting point. And then we can go from there.
Station personnel, please stand by.
Oh my god, they're tiny.
This dinosaur has a bite much worse than its size suggests. The Compsognathus should never be underestimated, though I fear it often is. Let's make sure we educate the world about the reality of animals like this one.
Alright, we've already got paleomedical needs. Alright, missing arid. Let's go with arid grassland. And, of course, water. Yeah, I should have known to put water in.
The dinosaurs are really no different from us when it comes to their emotional states. Comfortable dinosaurs are content dinosaurs, and content dinosaurs are more likely to thrive.
All right, let's drop in a paleomedical. Okay. Okay. That is now done. I am going to need to put in... Alright. Let's do the research first. Let's do the research for the large carnivore dig site. That wasn't who I clicked on. It's not even worth it. We're paying 500 grand to research this one dig site. We're only going to get 300K back in contract value. Not worth it at all. Avian pox. Start research. Except for we can't because we're already researching something. All right. Let's start with small hotel. Okay, let's do power substation. Okay, contract is complete.
Oh, excellent. I can save my excuses for why this task didn't get done for another day. Great work.
Take a photo of a dinosaur with... Oh, why do these requirements exist? Direct control.
Storm on the approach.
F.
Controls retake. We've spotted the asset.
I can't... It doesn't tell me... Okay, there we go. I really, if you didn't already know, I really dislike the whole requirement of taking photos. All right, we need an emergency shelter. We'll put the first one of those right here. We're going to need a bathroom. So we'll put the first one of those right here. And you need power.
Ladies and gentlemen, Our restroom is now open to use for whenever nature calls.
Okay. Pox is good. Paleomedical should now be able to go and clear that. Alright, let's do our next expedition. And we need to do... Oh, there's Tyrannosaurus Rex. That's what that unlocked. Wow, okay. Yeah, let's do the Edmontosaurus. Although the Edmontosaurus is... We could do the Lystrosaurus. I'm trying to not do the sites that have a whole bunch of dinosaurs we haven't unlocked yet. So yeah, let's do the Lystrosaurus. And then let's research... That's not what I want. Big sites. Let's research armored herbivores. Okay, disease outbreak controlled. I probably did not need to make this as large as I did. In fact, I actually think I'm going to make this a little smaller. To get myself some land back. Because I think they're only taking up this amount of room. And this will give me the ability to put some, like, restaurants and gift shops and stuff like that along this initial path. Alright, so we've unlocked the armored herbivore dig sites. Excellent. Alright, we've got... Let's see... Species target 15. Dinosaurs visible. We've already hit. Entertainment attractions. We don't have any. Yeah, so food, drink, and shopping. We need to get those in to improve our profits. So... Alright, let's put small shopping. We'll put you right there. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we've got food, we've got gifts, we just need drinks. Okay, there we go. We got new fossils. Ooh, these aren't very good. This will get us to 79% though. least we'll be able to immediately make those available in a enclosure. I'm actually thinking I might do some more Compsognathus. Oh, I know one thing that we need to research. We need to research... And I don't know where this is done. Fertility. Because we put a male in with the Compsognathus, but I didn't put in a nest because the game hasn't unlocked it. Alright, let's take a quick look at... Yeah, the economy's looking good now. So, 100% coverage and everything that we need this early in the game. We've got a 28k profit per minute. Excellent. Request a contract. See if increase the size of the largest territory population to 8. Boost park appeal. Achieve above 6. Take a photo worth at least 20. Oh, God. Alright, never mind. Yeah, we got some of the big boys now. Oh, man. Notosaurus. I don't think I've ever done one of those. Anki. Yeah, we got a couple of Ankies here. I think Ankies might be a good next one. But I also need to do flyers. So... Flying reptiles, dig sites 1. Okay. There's that. We need to get maintenance. I need to get a maintenance building in here. I do not have one at the moment. Maintenance. Problem I'm having right now is the way that I've set this up. Trying to figure out how I eventually want the guests to move around. I'm obviously going to have to put a monorail in here at some point. I do have to remember also, though, that... Actually, you know what? Let's edit the environment. I'm going to get rid of some of this water. And then I want to flatten. There we go. Okay. Now we can put it here. Perfect. Okay. Stations, maintenance post. Alright, so let's put a maintenance post right here. And then one over here. Trying to get the... Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get everything with just 2. Alright. And then this one. Okay. Excellent. Now then, we're going to research fertility. Let's also take a look at what's available. Increased power upgrade for power station. That unlocks increased output. Building upgrades for the staff center. And then these are defense upgrades. Cost upgrades. Also, I'm not going to feel comfortable doing even medium-sized carnivores without medium electric fences. Land hatchery. Oh, we need ground nests. That's why I didn't have the ability. Oh, I'm unlocking the fertility gene. I need to unlock ground nest to actually be able to put one in. Okay. Alright, I have to wait for the current research to be done then. These guys are small also. Alright, let me do another Lystrosaurus. Oops. If I can. $31K per minute. Excellent.
Any ecology is made up of an uncountable number of tiny interactions. Everything matters to something else. In our case, this next objective matters to me. Could you take it on?
Let's see. The profitability is going to be completely tied to the number of guests, which is tied to the number of dinosaurs. So as soon as we get the Lystrosaurus genome up to 100%, I can put in another enclosure for them. That'll also boost the park appeal. So let's do the park rating. I just don't know that we're going to get to it in 10 minutes. I just want to make sure they were different maintenance teams. Okay, so that was the fertility. I need ground nests. You. Okay. Because then I can put a ground nest inside the Compsognathus enclosure. And that'll be good. I like having this little waterfall right behind the Compsognathus enclosure. That looks really cool. It's also going to make for a nice location of another enclosure. Matter of fact, I might even be able to put a couple enclosures where I only have to put the enclosure around the rock faces. Make for an interesting set of enclosures. Yeah, in fact, I may put the Lystrosaurus one right here. Bring the path down this way. Because then it'll give me an opportunity or a location to put a monorail. I can put a monorail right here next to this hotel, and it can then take them to other places within the park once I have it unlocked, of course. It's still way to go. The expedition's done. Oh. I thought the expedition was done. Nope, expedition's not done. Oh, that's the capture team helicopter. Okay. Alright, you know what? I am going to start building an enclosure right there. Oh, here we go. Small nesting area.
That's a good-looking nest. Let's hope the dinosaurs like it as much as me.
Oh, man. Where? Okay, good. We've got a couple of nests. Okay. Expedition is coming back. Nothing to sell. Okay. Alright, let's build an enclosure right here. I don't think I actually needed to do that. I think that'll work. It's already got water, so I won't need to worry about that. Ranger post. And then I'm not going to put another hatchery. Yeah, let's do the hatchery for the Lystrosaurus first. Then we'll do the hatchery for more Compsognathus. Alright, we need to get power down here, and I need to get... Actually, you know what? I may stand up a small power station down here. Actually, I may not need to. Hold on. Okay. I don't understand this. There we go. Alright, I'm now going to bring the path down this way. Like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
Okay. Okay. Complete genome for Lystrosaurus. Excellent. Modify. Lifespan. Fertility. Oh, you are going to need to go rest, my friend. Alright, who is that? I can't tell from here. Let's do that. Let's do these two then. Oops. Let's do these two. Okay, we need scientists. You. Alright, let's train you. Put 1 point there. And then let's send you to rest. Excellent. Yeah, a second dinosaur should improve the park rating dramatically. So Select eggs. Oh, we've only got 3. Let's see. Fit, long-lived, resilient, and social. So let's go with you as the male. Begin incubation. Okay. And if I remember correctly, I think the Lystrosaurus actually have pretty decent compatibility with other dinosaurs. So we might actually be able to either build this out or put some other smaller herbivores in here with them, such as maybe the Gallimimus. There's another smaller one that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. So we'll have to see. In addition, let me bring, if I can, actually, I don't think I can. Oh, I can't move power poles. I can't click on them. That's one thing I was kind of hoping for, but, well, it is what it is. Okay.
Synthesis procedure
Release via
complete.
airlift.
Incubation personnel.
En route to collect the asset.
Okay. Confined space adaptation. Enable the application of the confined space adaptation gene, which influences the humility characteristic. Okay. Your guests are complaining about the lack of space.
Ladies and
Interesting.
gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a
Asset transportation underway.
Oh, I don't have wide pathing. I'm going to have to research wide pathing. And I can't, because I need 400 guests in the park before I can unlock that. Okay, well. Land hatchery upgrades. Additional hatchery bays, hatchery event. I haven't really seen the use for that, but maybe I just haven't gotten far enough into the game to see the need for that yet. We've got flyers. We've got 2 different herbivores, 2 different carnivores. Alright, let's leave the dig sites alone for now. Let's do the core upgrades.
ladies and gentlemen. We are
The Lystrosaurus, a true survivor of the dinosaur world. No one is quite sure how this animal survived the mass Permian extinction event, but survive it did. It might be small in stature and toothless, bar those upper canine tusks, but the Lystrosaurus was a remarkably successful species in its time, and now, of course, in our time as well.
Many natural systems fall into some sort of hierarchy, and dinosaur behavior is no different. The alpha should be easy enough to identify from observation alone.
Okay, I think we've got them everything that they need. And apparently that was our very first Lystrosaurus. Or we would not have gotten that lovely diatribe. Scientist inspired. Well, this is new. I don't remember seeing this before. Alright, this is the guy that we just had go to rest. So Christopher Medina. Increase the scientist... scientist has gained a new skill while on holiday. So I increased their logistics by 1. They must have increased their... whatever the healthcare one is. Increase the scientist's salary and recognition of their newly improved skills. Small increase in salary. Self-improvement is an important and expected part of their work here. His unrest becomes 50% and 7... no, we're going to reward that improvement. Yes. Holy cow. Alright, so our park rating got up to 0.8, but not up to 1. That's a shame. We are getting ready to have our new... We've got some eggs, so we're going to have some new Compsognathus, meaning I may not need to... Oh, you know what? Let me slow things down here real quickly, and then because we are coming up on the end of the episode. Adult population. Microceratus, and yeah, you don't really have a whole lot that you like to populate with. Okay, I was wondering what their population size were. They're right on the edge, so I could put in more Lystrosaurus. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I think otherwise we're in decent shape. Wow, synthesis is already complete. Alright, we do not want skittish. No, we'll remove you. Social, fit. Yeah, we'll take all of the rest of these. Alright, let's see what we can research, because I know a whole bunch of stuff unlocked. Medium amenities. We're at 268 guests in the park. We could potentially put in medium amenities now. I don't know if that'll increase the number of guests or not. I think the number of guests are directly tied to the dinosaur species available. But let's go ahead and do it. Because, I mean, we're going to need it anyway. New dinosaur eggs have been found. And one of them's getting ready to hatch. So we've got both nests actually being used in the Compsognathus enclosure. That's fantastic. Alright, so we've got these now. Let's release via airlift.
Heading to collect the asset.
Okay. I need to put in a small nesting area.
And gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Lystrosaurus to the park.
Okay. We're at 0.9.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Compsognathus to the park.
It's awful to see any animal under stress, let alone our own dinosaurs. Let's get this sorted, shall we?
What are you talking about? Oh, there we go. Research path. Okay. Well, this is actually a perfect place, and we hit 1.0. Perfect place for us to...
Wow, you're pretty impressive to see in action. Maybe I should be making notes on you instead of the dinosaurs.
Well, yeah, of course. This is a perfect place for us to wrap up the episode. We got to 1.0. We got all of the basic stuff set up. The next thing I want to do is do an expedition for a flyer so that we can set up a flyer enclosure. And then we'll go from there to start adding things, putting dinosaurs together, bringing in different attractions. I certainly want to put in a monorail, especially now that I know how they work. Definitely want to put in a balloon tour is another one that I really like. So changing our amenities from small to medium, want to do that. That'll increase our profits. Thankfully, we're staying at right around the $4 million mark. So we haven't made a profit of, a net profit for our park yet, but things are looking really good. Really like the way that things have gotten started with this particular sandbox run in Kauai. I hope you have too. As always, if you have, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button for me. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and hopefully I'll see you in a future episode. Talk to you soon.